Stevie Eskenazi and Sam Robson both continued their extraordinary one-day form, each with hundreds, which helped Middlesex thrash Warwickshire by 128 runs in Radlett to vastly improve their chances of reaching the knockout stages. Eskenazi was batting after losing the toss and would have felt some sympathy for Mark Stoneman, who on 20 somehow managed to find the fielder in the deep off a well-hit pull shot. Eskenazi was once again easing into his game, this a ground which he must want to play at every time. After 10 overs of power play, he was on to 20, the total on 40 for 1. The first sign of real aggression from Eskenazi came at the end of the 17th over, as he struck the first maximum of the match. Both batsmen reached personal milestones of 50s, Robson there first off 54 balls. The extraordinary Eskenazi has failed only once to raise his bat in 6 innings in this competition this summer. His 50 had used up 66 balls and he now started to move through the gears, his confidence by now through the roof. It has been a competition for the captain which has had boffins scurrying for the record books time and time again. After 30 overs, the total read 163 for 1. Remarkably, they were to smash 211 more. Robson started the onslaught with a drive over long on. Eskenazi was next to clear the rope, an effortless shot over extra cover, which brought up his team's 200 in over 35. The race was on to see which player would get to 3 figures first, as they continued to trade boundaries, the stand for the second wicket moving beyond 200. Robson won that battle, just a misfield getting him the single he needed to reach his second ton of the one-day cup summer. This one had occupied 95 balls, from which he'd struck 10 fours and 1 6. The supporters had to remain standing and applauding as next ball, Eskenazi worked the ball backwards of square to take him to his 400 in this campaign, his 4th in his last 5 innings, an astounding run of form. He'd hit 2 6s and a dozen 4s and used up 104 deliveries. There was only one way he was ever going to be out. Run out backing up as Oliver Hannon-Dolby got a fingertip on Robson's straight drive. Eskenazi was gone for 102. He left with 11 and a half overs still to bat with his side perfectly placed on 236 for 2. Robson was now joined by Max Holden and they swiftly added 35 together to the tally. Robson was then out for 111, his best ever effort with the bat in this format. He holing out off Will Rhodes. He left now 4th on the list of run getters with 389 from 6 knocks this summer. Holden then grabbed the baton with a massive hit as he now tried to make the most of the work that had gone on before. He and Peter Malan were soon doing just that. They pushing the total up to 308 for 3 with 5 overs of the innings remaining. And from those they added 66 more runs, Holden going the distance again off Rhodes, another glorious shot, this time over the offside. Holden was at his 50 off 27 deliveries. Malan rushed to his half-century off only 26 balls, picking out the smallest of gaps to secure his 7th 4. It had now become nothing short of an assault on a weary Warwickshire attack. Malan celebrated by belting his next ball into the crowd. Middlesex were now eyeing up their highest ever total in List A cricket. They needed 20 runs off the last over to overtake that, but 4 deliveries went by without a boundary before normal service was resumed, with Holden finding 2 more 4s off the final 2 balls. He ended his explosive innings on 62 from 33 deliveries, Malan with 59 off 30. The partnership between the two realising 103 runs in just 50 balls. Middlesex ending their 50 overs on an imposing 374 for 3. Warwickshire then required a seismic start to chase that down, but were 2 wickets down before the end of the 10 overs of power play. Rob Yates was well held behind by Joe Cracknell off Toby Greatwood, and Rhodes was undone by a superb ball from Martin Anderson, which dragged back off a pitch which had, hitherto, offered little for any bowler. Dom Sibley was proving to be a thorn in Middlesex's side, however, and his 9th 4 took him to his 50 of 62 balls. He added 53 runs in 10 overs with Matthew Lamb, who was then dismissed for 24, Greatwood with a delivery which shaped back in to smash into the stumps. Sibley, however, was playing a lone hand, his side 4 down with 159 runs on the board, when Ethan Brooks was banging front to Luke Holman for 24. Holman soon struck again, bowling Hamza Sheikh behind his legs for 3. The game was done when Max Harris then joined the party with the big wicket of Sibley, who nicked off having made 89 out of the score of 183 for 6. Umesh Yadav ensured that all of the Middlesex attack had played a part as he yorked Michael Burgess for a single, the visitors ready to start the bus as they slipped to 186 for 7 with 15 overs still available. Harris hit the top of leg to remove Kai Smith for 22, and Middlesex were now heading for one of the largest margin of runs victories they'd managed in List A cricket. Warwickshire on 212 for 9, Holman with the 3rd wicket, this one seeing the end of Liam Norwell. The leggy finished with a List A best of 4 for 34, the last 2 wickets adding 48 before Hannon Dolby was stumped for 21 as the Bears were dismissed for 246 after 46 overs. So the margin of success was 128 runs. Another victory over Gloucestershire in Radlett on Sunday will now guarantee a place in the knockout stages. If they then beat Sussex next Tuesday, a home semi-final could well be theirs.